Hello, I am Laura Crocus, and I have been in full-time ministry since 2001 with Master Plan Ministries, and I'm also the founder of missionalwomen.com. And I love writing Bible studies and developing resources, and want to tell you about the Reveal cards. All right, this is an evangelism tool, but it also can be used for small groups and helping people really connect well with each other. So let me show you a little bit of what it is. This is the cards. There's 48 cards. They're kind of the thickness of playing cards. And when you first get them, there's the 3 ways that you can use them, the description cards. So this first one is talking about how you can use them as spiritual interest questionnaire. So there is questions here 1 through 7, and I'll tell you a couple of them in a minute. But these are what some of the cards look like. They're just tons and tons of pictures that you can use to describe different things in your life. Okay, so the spiritual interest questions are: which picture would you use to describe your experience with Jesus, with religion or spirituality, depending on where you're at. If you're in the Bible Belt, you might want to say Jesus. If you're not in the Bible Belt, you might want to say spirituality or religion. And that would be just a question that you ask someone. So you ask them which card is going to best represent that question. The next question is, which picture would you use to describe God? All right, and the point of these questions is to listen. You want to get a really good idea of where they're coming from. What do they think about Jesus? And you want to listen. You want to be a very good listener. So you listen to them, then you ask the next one, which is, which picture best describes what you think keeps people from God? All right, so out of these 48 pictures, there's all sorts of different ones that are going to that they'll pick, and they'll explain why they think this picture, that picture, and you'll get a really good idea of where they're coming from. Next one is, what picture describes what you think sin is, and what picture would you use to what picture would God use to describe sin? So not only what do you think, but what do you think God thinks sin is? And then what picture would you choose to show why you think Jesus died on the cross? And these are leading to the gospel. So hopefully you'll be able to get into a gospel conversation. Number 6 is, let's say Jesus was standing right here. What picture would describe one thing he would want to say to you? All right, maybe they've thought about this, but chances are they probably haven't. And this is a great thing to get them to start thinking about. And then the last one, you can do either or, so there's 2 questions here. You can do, can I share what I think Jesus would want to tell you? Or can I share the pictures that show my spiritual journey towards God? All right, and that's what the second question description card is it tells you how to prepare your testimony using these cards. All right, so there's 6 questions that will help you choose a card that will help you walk through and share your testimony of how God drew you to himself and how he saved you and rescued you from eternity apart from him. All right, so those questions are, which picture describes how you viewed God before coming to know him personally? You're not really going to share these with them. You're going to think these through yourself, and then you could say, when you have your 6 pictures down, you would say, well, this picture best describes how I thought about God, and you'd kind of tell about it. This picture best describes what a predominant type of sin that separated you from God. For example, pride, greed, lust, selfishness, envy, lying, idolatry. So something that would maybe point to one of those. This describes what kept me from God. So you would put together your picture story of how God rescued you. And then the third way that you can use these, the third description card, is that you can use these in a small group, all right, or in a Bible study. So say you're at Bible study and you really want to get a chance to hear from people and be known and to know, but you don't really know the right questions to ask, except how are you? And that question is not great. It's just not a great question. So there's some on here where you would use these cards and you would say, One is, what has God been teaching you? Pick a picture, choose a picture to describe what God has been teaching you. Another one, a recent fear you faced and how you responded, or a recent way God has come through for you, or a recent insecurity that you've had and how you reacted or how you responded. Okay, so these are great questions for your small group. So you can use these in a small group, and it's really going to help people to interact. And the greatest needs of mankind are to love and be loved, and to feel worthwhile to self and others. And with that comes being known. So these pictures and these cards are going to help fulfill the greatest needs of mankind, the greatest felt needs of being known and being loved and feeling worthwhile, but also the greatest real need of turning to Christ and seeing his sufficiency on our behalf. So you can find these at therevealcards.com, at missionalwomen.com, or masterplanministries.net, I believe too. So I hope you give them a try, and I would love to hear from you how you like them. All right, bye-bye.